Hi, I'm Joe Piero with Remote Consulting, and today I'd like to show you how to use SAP PPM for portfolio management. PPM allows you to structure your portfolio by buckets. So in this case, we're going to take a look at our list of buckets, and we can see how we are going to structure a portfolio in order to manage it efficiently. So here you can see we have the following buckets. We can also take a look at a structure view, so we can see what buckets are sub-buckets to other buckets. So we can also see a portfolio structure graphic in which we see a graphical representation of how our portfolio is structured. We also have an alternate way to look at our portfolio, which is using the classification hierarchies view. So here we can see we also can look at our portfolio by region, and we can drill into the bucket info as well. From this screen, we can also take a look at a graphical view. Next, we're going to take a look at portfolio items. So as a portfolio manager, you're going to have items you have to keep track of. And here we can see some basic info like name, type, plan, start, and finish dates. So we're going to go ahead and create a new item to represent a new proposal. So first we have to assign this item to a bucket. So we're going to assign this to our proposal bucket. And we have to also assign an item type. So this is going to be an IT proposal. Now we click continue and we can go into our item details. So in this case, we're proposing a new CRM mobile app. So we'll go ahead and enter the name for this. So we're going to call this new CRM mobile app. And we can also assign an ID to this. And we can assign a priority as well. So we're going to call this a very high priority proposal. And here we can see our proposal checkbox is checked. We can also enter our planned start and finish date. So we're going to start today and finish, let's say, 2 months from now. And now we're going to save the item. Now we're going to go to the additional information tab, and as we can see here, we have a probability of success as well as an assessed risk. So here we can have stakeholders actually fill out questionnaires in order to determine success and risk probabilities. So here we can launch this questionnaire for probability of success. So we can consider these questions and then enter values for this proposal. And once we submit this, we see that we're already calculating values based on our answers. So here we're going to fill out the risk assessment questionnaire. And next we're going to enter some financial information. So here we're going to enter in launch costs. Let's say this is $10,000 to launch, as well as development cost. Let's say that's $100,000. And then we're going to also enter net present value. So let's say that's 10 million. And we hit enter and we see that our expected commercial value is calculated based on our values there. So now we're going to save. And the next step is to maintain a decision point, and that is a strategic gate decision where the stakeholders decide whether to move forward with an item or to not. So in this case, we're going to go to the Phases and Decisions tab, and we will click on the Proposal Decision Point, and we'll change the status from in progress to for review, and we will save. So now that we've actually saved our item as for review, the person reviewing the proposal can change the decision point status to approved. That's an available option on the menu. So now we're going to save. And we're going to note here that we have our approved status, and we can also fill out additional date info if we have that in this case. So now we're going to go back to our overview and click on Reviews. And here we can see reviews that we have pending. So we're going to select the Review IT Project Proposal review. And here we can see an overview of our review, and we can also take a look at the items assigned to this review. And in this case, we want to also add our items. We're going to go ahead and click the Add button, and we can enter our item ID and click Find. So now we're going to select our proposal and move that to the Selected Objects table. And now we have this included in our review. So next we want to actually compare our proposals. So we'll go ahead and save this. And then we're going to select the reporting cockpit. So here we see a few charts. What we have here is we have our projects, and they are compared on these ECV charts, which is expected commercial value. So it's rating our projects based on expected value. We also have a scheduling chart down here, which shows us the current scheduling for all the projects. We can also consider that when we're evaluating which projects to move forward with. What we can also do is we can take a look at the scoreboard for our projects. So here we can click our scoreboard icon. And here we can select the appropriate scoring model. So in this case, let's choose IT Global Financial Value. So here we can see the scores of all of our projects, and we can also see what's being factored into these scores. We can click on Display Weighted Score Calculation. And what this will do is show us the weight of each factor in determining this score based on the scoring model. And so here, let's say we want to go ahead and move forward with our item. We can just launch it here from the scoreboard. And we click on the active decision point. And here we see our status currently in review. We're going to go ahead and change that to approved and then save. So now we want to actually convert our proposal into an active item. So we're going to go back to our item. And now we're going to click on the Change Process button. And we're going to use the item type IT project with C project integration. And we will go ahead and maintain the rest of our values as needed here. So we're going to keep our version type as simulation, and we're going to click Save. And so now you can see your item type has changed to IT project with C projects integration. So now we need to assign a template for this. So what we're doing here is we're going to create a project upon saving, and now we determine a project management template. So we're going to choose the PS automatically task-based template. And now the system is going to automatically create a project in the background now that we've chosen this option. So now we can see we have a project icon here, and we can select tasks, and now we're taken to a view of our project that's been created. So here we can see the structure of our project, and we can see details for each part of the project. And so the next step is we're going to move this item to a bucket for active items. So we're going to go back to our portfolio management view and click on portfolio items. And here we can select our item, which is right here. And we're going to click the Move To icon. And so here we can select the bucket to move it to. So we're going to move it. It was in the proposal bucket, now it's going into the innovation bucket. We can also add the item to an initiative. So we can go to our Portfolio Initiatives tab, and we'll click on New IT Initiative. And we'll take a look at the Assigned Items tab. And we will click Add. Once again, we'll put in our item ID. And now we've added our item to this initiative. So now we're going to click Save. So the next thing we want to do is we want to take a look at financial planning for this initiative. So we click on the financial planning option, and here we can see our financial planning values for this initiative. So let's take a look at the budget initiative. And what we can do here is we can change the values if we want, and we can easily distribute an amount across an entire project span. So here I'm going to select General and click on Functions and Distribution. So here I can change my values. I'm going to change this to $12 million. And I'm going to distribute this across the entire initiative span. So here my values have been split across all of the periods. And so I've easily distributed a new plan value across this. So here we can also take a look at our forecast values. And forecast values are maintained at item level planning, whereas budget values are entered manually for initiatives and buckets. So here we can take a look at our external costs. Let's say we want to take a look at material procurement. We can do the same thing here. We can also distribute values for the entire span. Now the material procurement costs have been updated accordingly. We can also use capacity planning as well. So we saved our data. Now we're going to go back to our initiative and click on the capacity planning option. And here we can take a look at the forecast values and see the resources needed for this project. So let's select development. Then we can do the same thing here. We can distribute a value here. So let's say that we need 60 units of 8-hour days for this position. The system now distributes that based on the value we entered, and we can save this. So next we're going to actually staff our project. We go back to our capacity planning view. And here we look at the values we have planned, and then we're going to go back to our item that represents the project and transfer demand for those values. So we'll go ahead and open our item. And select the transfer demand option. So here we can see the roles that we have for this project. And so let's go ahead and enter forecast as our category, so we can actually transfer these roles to our project. We have to specify an action as well, and these are all existing roles for our project. You can also define a related role, so each of these has a related role for the category that we are assigning. And now we click verify and save. So next we go back to our item, and we're going to take a look at project roles. Here we can see the roles for our project as well as a calculated demand. So now we're going to select these roles. So first we'll click on the Details tab when we have IT Project Manager selected. So now we're going to go to our Staffing tab. And here we can see we have role, staffing, and candidates. We also have a Tasks tab, which shows which task is assigned to each resource. So what we can do here is we can actually assign a role to a task, and then via that task assign a resource. So what we're going to do is take a look at the IT Project Manager, and we're going to determine what tasks are assigned to this person. So we can see the current tasks that are assigned. We can also select from these tasks as well. So let's choose IT Project Preparation. And then we will go to our Staffing tab and choose a resource for this. In this case, we know which resource we want to have as our project manager, so we'll go ahead and enter the personnel number. And click staff. So now we will save. And next we're going to decide required skill sets. So here we can go to our qualifications tab. And let's say that for our project manager, we need some additional qualifications. So here we're going to go ahead and select what qualifications these are. In this example, they need project management and consulting management skills. And we can set them as mandatory or not. We can also set a proficiency for this person. So we're going to select average for both of these. And then we can actually search for an available resource. Now we click on Find Resource. And all of the resources with this skill set now appear. And we click Staff Role. We can see we've now appointed this additional person to the project manager role. We also have a couple different views we can look at. So we can go to the staffing overview view here, and we can see who is assigned to these actual roles. So we can click on either of these two people, and we can select additional information for resource, and we can easily see some key data here in graphical format. So we can see total and remaining availability for this resource. We also have several options from this view. We can assign a task or delete staffing for this person. And we also have the resource overview screen. So we can take a look here at remaining availability, assigned effort, all these criteria. As you can see, using the PPM solution, we're able to quickly and easily manage our items and initiatives and determine which ones to move forward with based on evaluation from key stakeholders. We can then create a project from these items, and we can move around items in buckets and initiatives as well in order to manage our portfolio. We can also meet complex staffing requirements, looking at resource availability and key skill sets, as well as financial and capacity planning by a number of values. If you're interested in learning more about PPM or other solutions, please